Hey everybody, it's Romania Black. We're on episode 7 and 8 of season 3 of Modazushi, the audio drama, and I've pulled up episode 7 up here, getting it prepped, ready for me to watch it, and it's a picture of WuXian cradling Yanli in his arms. So it's not good. We're here. It took us a long time. I've been prepping myself the last several episodes of these reactions to the novel. I've been prepping myself because I've watched Zishuan and Yanli's death in the donghua, and it was really sad. And then I watched it in the Untamed. It was really sad. And so I've been trying to prep myself the last couple episodes, being like, oh yeah, it's coming. I'm totally ready for it. But the audio drama, there's just something about it where it just, the voice actors, I guess because they're not recorded, they don't have to worry about what their face looks like. The voices are just, they just convey the emotions so well, and the audio drama is so real. And I'm getting finally the source material. I feel like I've done things backwards. I've gone from the most recent adaptation, which was the donghua, to the Untamed, now back to the source material of the original Yanli death. And the Zishuan death was pretty gruesome last episode, like the sounds and everything. I was like, And so it's going to be interesting to actually see Yanli's death, how it was supposed to be in the novel and how it's portrayed. And because the adaptations, they're both very similar, but they're both slightly different. And that's because of censorship, it's because of budget, because of animation and time. Like the circumstances surrounding the Nightless City and the Nevernight and everything with WuXian going crazy, it's handled differently in both the Untamed and the donghua. And so it's handled differently enough that I want to see what the actual novel is like and how MXTX originally wrote the entire scene, because it is done very differently in both versions. And I'm like, I wonder which one's closest to the novel. And now we're going to find out. And then after that, I don't know how this story is going to do. It's very weird because the donghua kind of goes back and forth in time like the novel does, not to the extreme that the novel does, but a little bit. And then the Untamed is totally linear. Like right now, I just finished watching episodes 40 and 41 of the Untamed, and that was covering Yao and Mingzhu's backstory, which we got a long time ago in the novel. And so now we're just now covering it. It's done very linear, in a linear fashion, chronologically. And so I'm like, So I'm very curious to know how this is going to tie in to the present, because they're still in the present time. They're at the burial mounds, and WuXian is being targeted by everybody again. Only Wanji's there this time and is being vocal about him being there, so it's different. But that's where we are in the present timeline in the novel, and then this is just the last part of the flashback, right? We're gonna have Ning's death. We haven't even got Ning, and well, Ning doesn't die; he's already dead. But we haven't got Qing's death yet. We haven't got any of that stuff. So, oh god, this episode's gonna be rough. And I committed myself to doing episodes 7 and 8. Because that's how it worked out on paper, because it's chapter 76 through 82, and then 82 cuts off, and then we'll finish up 82 next week with episode 9 of the audio drama. I only have slated episode 9 next week. So I looked at the times of the episodes too, and I think that's what helped me dictate. These are both like 30 to 40 minutes long each. So this is going to be a longer reaction, but it's just how it worked out. I was like, what? But yeah, I think pretty much from here on in, the next couple weeks are just going to be one episode. So I'm going to do episode 9 a week, episode 10 a week, and then I'm going to do 11 and 12 together, and 13 and 14 together, and then do 15 by itself. This is just how it worked out. So that's just how it worked out. But I do have 2 extras that we're going to watch too. We're going to watch Sleeping Together. I don't know what that's going to be like. that comes after this episode here. Maybe some levity after the tragedy. Okay. So I'm going to watch episode 7 of the audio drama, season 3, then the Sleeping Together extra, then episode 8, and then Planting Radishes. I'm assuming that's with Jan. That's going to be after that. And so, and then afterwards, I'm going to go and read and check out the Manhua, and then come back, and we're going to talk about this mess. We're going to talk about this mess. So, oh God. I poured myself some coffee. I was like, you know what? Yeah, let's just do that. Let's just do that. Let's have some coffee. It's going to be totally fine. Everything's going to be great. As I tell myself this. I just looked at that photo right before I started this video and was like, So that's how we're doing this. Okay. Sure. But yeah, okay. We'll just go ahead and rip off the Band-Aid and start, shall we? So let's not waste any more time. I'm pretty excited. Nervous. all of the above. But we're going to start episode 7 of season 3 of the audio drama of Mo Dao Zushi here in 3, 2, 1. And let's just see how this goes. Oh, God. Oh. Oh. Oh, yeah, we got it. God. Okay, Daddy Jin. We don't ever get to see Daddy Jin's reaction to this. This is interesting. Oh. Oh my gosh. Holy shit. Nope. Oh no. Oh, the bell. Why would you do this? Oh. Oh my gosh. I wasn't ready for a lullaby. Nope. Nope. Oh my gosh. Ooh, I heard that. Oh. 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 What have I gained? Oh. 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 Yeah, it technically was. Yep. Oh. What should I do now? Mm. Oh. Oh my God. Oh. I don't like it here. No. No. Not at all. Oh. We were already coming to the end of that. Oh. Yep. Yep, that's what they're going to do. Oh. Oh, honey. They'll look after you. Which in the Untamed they leave too. But no, it wasn't. They've already been convinced it was you. Yeah. It's no use. Where do we search? We don't have time. Uh-huh. Who would be willing to help you? How long is it going to take? God, Jing. Did they ask you? No. They don't care. Yeah, they just, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, girl. Speaking the truth. They'll justify it, yeah. It's no use. At this point, that's the least of your concerns, yeah. 300 people killed by Ning. Oh my God. Why must the blade go but not the murderer? Oh. 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 Yeah. Yeah, she's like, we should have died a long time ago. We're stolen time. Oh! Oh, 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 this is Ching. Oh my god, this voice acting. God. Oh, I don't want to hear him crying like that. No, 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 no. Oh, this music too. Oh no. Oh, WuXian. 3 days later. Oh. Oh, he thinks about going back to the Lotus Pier. Oh my god. You're not wrong there. Oh. 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 Oh my gosh. Oh my god. Oh, okay, it's the maid. Oh. Oh, it's Madam Jin. Okay. So this is like the Untamed. yeah, this is just as bad as it is in the Untamed. Oh my god, it is. Oh, damn it, it is just like it! Oh no! Oh no! Oh damn! Oh no! Oh no! Too ashamed. But she just wanted to see him! Oh no. Oh shit. Oh my god. Oh. Oh. Oath conference. Oh. Ooh. Oh. Oh. Oh my god. Oh. Damn. But we know that Ning is not ashes. They hid him away. They didn't burn him. But they just told everyone that. Oh. Oh, Ocean. Ah. Oh my god, Wushin. Oh. Oh. Oh my god. Oh, Wushin. Oh, honey. Oh, and then Wanji. Oh. My thigh! My leg! My leg! Oh, Wanji. Oh my gosh. So, okay. Okay. And Yao. Yao does sound different in this version than he does in the Untamed. It's interesting. Ooh. And Daddy Jin. And this music! And Chang hesitates. Okay. Oh. And tomorrow they're going to go after... Tomorrow they're going after the others. Oh my god. 3,000 people. Oh. Oh my god. Who fought first? Oh. Oh. Ooh, interesting. There's a connection with Yao here. Okay. Ugh. Uh. And then we got to this argument of like, how do we know it's not you? Uh-huh. Yeah, why wait until now? Oh my god. Oh my gosh, why? And this must be the Yao guy, that right? Or is this the guy next to Yao? The sect leader Yao. Uh oh. 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 Cheap admiration. Oh my gosh. And this is just like in the Untamed, yeah. Oh. Oh. Oh my gosh. He's like, cruel, he just shot me. Oh my gosh. Ugh. Oh my god. Oh. Oh my gosh. And so this is like the donghua where there's actual corpses coming out of the ground. Oh my god. Oh, and then Wanji arrives. Oh my god. He still calls him Lanzan. Sound of lucidity. Oh. Oh, I don't like this at all. No! Oh, I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. It doesn't matter if you hate me. Oh. He's like, why are you here? I always hate this. Why is she here? Why would you, girl, why would you go in the middle of the battlefield? Stop. Oh. Oh. Damn it! Oh. 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 And you can almost hear a flute playing in the background, but I don't think that's anything. I think it's just the sounds. Oh my gosh, no! Oh, and it's the one. Oh! Oh! Oh, honey. Oh! 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 Oh God, like it's all just like all the sound. I'll catch you. Oh my God. He's sleep talking. Wanji was ignoring him. Oh my God. Shit. Oh my God. With the babies crying? Oh my God. Oh, honey. Oh, oh my God. Oh my gosh. Oh, stop! No! No! Oh! Oh! Oh my gosh! Oh. Oh my God! No! No, he was confessing to you, you I've got to make some notes. Oh my God. Oh. Oh no. Back in the donghua, there was a scene where we got a flashback of Wanji with him in the cave, and WuXian does the "get lost" line, and several of you in the comments, you were just like, no. And at the time, I was like, I don't get what the big deal is. No, I get it now. So he's basically like confessing to him. Wanji, you picked the worst time to do this. Oh my God, and Cheering going after them. Oh my God. Yeah, so so while we're gonna do this whole sleeping together extra next while we're waiting on this episode 8. Or maybe I wait till the end to do both of them. I don't know. It said sleeping together was after episode 7. You know what? We'll just do them both. We'll do both of the extras at the end. And that way, after all this tragedy, we'll have some happiness. Okay, yep, that sounds good. All right, so I know I don't want to hear the rest of the ending yet. We're going to go to episode 8, and then we'll... What is this nonsense? What is this nonsense? This image? WuXian looks like he's insane, and he has blood all over him, and markings from blood, and Wanji looks sad. I don't like this. I don't like this at all! Damn it, no! Okay. Nope, don't like this at all. Don't like this at all. Okay. So, let's just start this and enjoy the angst. We'll do the nice extras after this. That'll be great. 3, 2, 1. I can't stop the extras in between because of that ending. No. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Oh my God, y'all. Let's do this. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh. So we went back to the burial mound. Oh. Oh. Oh, so we're back. So we're back to the present. Oh. So we're back to the present. Oh. 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 Yeah. Oh my God. So we're not going to find out what happened? No. And I didn't kidnap these kids. We are back in the present. Yeah. Oh. Sushi. Oh. Anyone can control them. Huh. Ah, and they hid you away. Yep. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I hate that we don't get to go back to that. We don't get to go back to that, damn it. So, I guess in the novel I'll find out. Ah! Damn it. So we don't get we can infer what's happened to Wanji, but I wonder if we're gonna go back to it. Oh. Oh, Chang Xing Ling battle, yeah. Oh. Ah. Damn it. Oh. Oh, because their spirit energy's been it's been taken. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna go back to this. Okay. I remember this happening in the donghua now. Yeah. Okay. The sound of vanquish. Okay, Song of Vanquish. Oh my gosh. And if I remember right, they blame WuXian for this, like right off the bat. There are too many. Ah. I'm trying to remember what they said at the very beginning. If they said that WuXian for 3 months. I'll have to read it in the novel. Huh. Oh, Wei Sing, save me, save me. Oh, Wei Sing being there. Oh my god, yes. And Wei Sing knows they're safer inside. Look at him. Uh-huh. Which is against what Sushi wanted. Yep. And it's the slumbering demon cave. Oh, season. Oh. Oh, Chang. I love that Ling has to drag Chang into the cave. He's like, go break my legs. Do it now. Baby Ling, I love you. All right, and Sharon goes in. All right. And the Sue Steck still fights outside. Ooh, I love that sound. Uh-huh. Yeah, they stayed outside because they did have their spirit energy, right? And Wuxin was just calling him out on it. Oh. Ooh. Okay. Why are they together? Why don't we have a chat? Huh. And Hui Sang's defending him. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. It's not a poison. Figure it out. Do we not have a physician? They have a physician! Amazing! Ah. They have like 3 physicians. Amazing. $4. I'm glad you all can predict that. Oh. Well, I mean, don't drag me into your vengeance. Yeah. I don't even know this guy. Oh, yeah. I like that they immediately are like, well, we don't even know him. Why do we want to try his hands? Uh-huh. What did you all do together? Uh-huh. Toy things. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. That's not it. That's not it. Ah! Sushi got shut up. Uh-huh. He's really protected that way, fellow. They're just really good friends. Point this out. Ah. Uh-huh. I'm misleading others. Yes. Take your time to discuss. Just call for me when you're done. Ah. Oh. Oh. Oh, and they're explaining it. Yeah, that Sue started a sect after he branched away. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Jingy is like, I want to gossip, darn it. He imitates Wanji. Jingy is a gossip. Spilling the tea. Uh-huh, yeah, definitely. Hmm. Hmm. Ooh. Okay. Oh my gosh, and they're just squabbling. Uh-huh. Oh my gosh. Oh. It was the music. Like the incident in E City. Ah, okay. Oh. Oh. But since you told me to, fine. Lanzan. And he's like, how dare you call my nephew by his name? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes. I love this strumming music too. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I love that this is like this detective mystery of like trying to explain everything. Mm-hmm. They're like, what's going on? Oh. Yeah, you're with that spiritual energy. Oh my gosh, I love it. I'll repeat it more clearly. He drove away evil, but the battle song. Yep. Yep. Ooh! Uh-huh. Oh my gosh. Ha! Hoisting's like, really? Such a thing exists? Why can't it summon it? Mm-hmm. The songs that he stole. Yeah. Uh-huh. It's all coming together. All coming together. Unusually close to Hamwon-jun. Oh, wow. Oh. Like a mantis that stalks a cicada. Oh my gosh. And then blame it all on WuXian. But yeah, I was over there making out with Zishan. He could just go in and get it whenever. Yes, he did. Yeah, replay it. Replay it so that everybody can hear. Oh, you don't want to? Oh, WuXian honey. Oh! You liar. Uh-huh, yeah. Politely hands the sheet over to him. Oh! Yes! Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, this is great. This is great. This is great. Ah! Oh crap. Oh. Yep. Yeah, you used the transportation talisman. Oh. Oh. Oh, she all season. Lee expects Chang to be the same way. Ah! Chang, you monster. Cut sleeve. Oh my gosh. Yes, please. Oh. 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 Oh my gosh. Oh, Season protecting his dad. Look at Chirin. Chirin being like, we can still fight with our swords even if we don't have spiritual energy. Ah. It's sort of, yeah, Chiron actually fighting is, yeah, something surprising. And she's like, who do you think taught Wanji and Jishin? Oh. Uh. Oh, Xingyi's trying to protect Ling. Oh. 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 Chang, my dude. Tough love uncle. Ha 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 ha. I love that they're like that. Even your forehead ribbon spotless. You're unbelievable. Oh. Oh. Plowing water. Yeah, Jishin's not there. Oh no. Oh. 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 Oh, that's what the picture is. He's drawing it on himself. Oh. 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 Oh my gosh. So this is like the when they turn their robes red. Yes. Oh. Cheering. Oh my gosh. Wow. Oh my gosh. Whoosh and honey. Oh, Xingyi, we'll go back. Oh. father-son duo stuff happening. And Ling's going back too. Oh my gosh. He's like, Ning, get him out of here! Oh, and Sejri staying. Oh. And that's when the corpses come back to help him. This is scary. I like this. Yes. Oh. Oh, it's like the sound is like. Oh. And it's all the remaining winds. Oh my gosh. I'm glad that in the donghua they didn't show these guys just covered in blood, because that would have been really disturbing to watch. And they're red, so it's like the winds. There were some that were not. Say it. They were all thrown into the blood pool. Oh my God. What is this sound? I don't know why. Oh my God. Oh, it was the grandma. Oh my God. The sound effects, everything is just ridiculous. Oh my God. Is it everyone? Oh my God. Oh my gosh. You're gonna, oh my gosh. Are you kidding? It's just. Oh. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. The gurgling is kind of cute and funny, but this is really sad. Oh. Ning. Oh. 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 Oh, that's so sad. Oh my god. Oh. Oh, and them all offering him pouches. This music. Oh. Oh, and they're gonna stop right there? No! Damn it! No! Oh my god. Oh. I don't think though. I hate that they cut it off there because in the donghua, WuXian's like, no, it's not atonement. They just saved you. It's not atonement. It just happened. Oh my god, Ning like trying to gather up all the ashes. No. Again, lots to talk about. Lots to talk about, and I still got to read the novel chapters because I'm sure that I feel like there was a disconnect between episodes 7 and 8, and maybe I should have listened to the end of episode 7. Maybe I should have listened till the end. I should have probably listened till the end, but I didn't. But I feel like there was a disconnect between us going back to the present and us stopping with the cave where he tells Wanji to get lost. God. Well, that was painful. That was really painful. That first episode especially. This one was better. Okay, so we have sleeping together, and then we have planting radishes, which is the yawn one. You could not make it any more obvious that Sijui is yawn at this point. But if you don't know, you don't. At this point in the donghua, I was like, oh, it's him. But if you didn't know, okay, I want to hear this. What was that? Oh my god! That sensual Lanzon from WuXian. What? Oh my god, are we getting them finding out that it's Sijui next episode? Are we getting it coming to up? Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Okay, wait. All right, so oh my god. Okay, we still have 2 extras to watch, so we're gonna have to do that first, right? Oh my god. I can't, y'all. I can't. That sensual Lanzon from WuXian, I was like, wait, what? What are we doing? Oh god. Okay, I do want to open up. Okay. So I do want to open up this one, though. All right, I do want to open up this one. And we're going to start sleeping together. That is an extra. So we're going to start the sleeping together extra here in 3, 2, 1, and let's go. Oh. Huh. Uh-huh. Oh, just one, huh? 2 rooms! 2 connecting rooms! Yes, 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 yes. Of course, of course, of course. Oh. Uh-huh, disgust him, right? Okay, sure. So we're assuming this is in the past. Oh my god. Your room is next door. WuXian, you are asking for trouble. Uh-huh. Oh my god. Oh my god. As you wish. What's this giggle? Which one of us can't stand the other first? Oh, honey, you have no clue. That resolve. He thinks you're being serious, WuXian. How to fall outside the window? Oh my god. Hey. WuXian, you monster. Oh my god, WuXian, what are you doing? WuXian. Oh my god, WuXian. You are just asking for this. Somebody is restless. Oh. Again, hearing the heartbeat of someone he's missed all these years. Ugh. Oh my god. How can he endure so much? Oh, you have no idea. Well... 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 Oh my gosh. WuXian honey. Sweet bean. Oh my god. Okay. So there's that one. And then the other one was planting radishes. All right, we're going to start that here in 3, 2, 1, and let's go. Look at Ning! Look at Ning over there! Oh. I love the picture of Ning just looking at him. Oh. Just tiny little seeds. Oh. Oh. Huh. This is so cute. I find a flask. Ninguga, oh. Oh my gosh. Ning carrying him and laughing. Oh my god, this is adorable. Too much alarm digging his hole. You can't mess around with them like this. Oh. What kid? I have yawn. Isn't that enough? Oh. Oh. They had to be different from me. I has to be upright and virtuous. Oh. This person you're describing sounds like someone I've met before. It would have to be like Wanji. But Sejui ends up getting raised by Wanji, so... Oh. But his son ends up getting raised by Wanji, so he's like him. And the theme music just... Stop! Oh my gosh. And we're showing this leading up to the next episode that there is going to reveal Sejui is Yan. Oh my gosh. That is okay. Okay. You did it. You did it, show. You did it, book. Okay. So, out of all that, I'm off to read the chapters, and when I come back, we will talk about this. So, I'll be right back. Oh, well, that was painful. That was painful for the first... I'm again, much like in the Untamed, when y'all had me watch episodes 31, 32, and 33 together, and it was like, get rid of all that pain, and then there's some betterment. That's exactly what happened with these episodes, because episode 7 of the audio drama with Yanli's death, holy crap, that was, my dog farted during the middle of it. I was like, so if you heard something in the thing, I was like, Huckleberry. It was great. I was like, are you serious? Right in the middle of all this. But yeah, oh my God. So, yep, the death happened. It was really sad. There's actually, I'm amazed at how much the Untamed kept in from the novel. It did change some things, and there's a lot. God, well, this was much more tragic for a number of reasons, and things that I'm like, show donghua Untamed, you didn't what? So there's that, and then we cut back to the present, and now we're back to the whole thing with the winds coming to save them, and we ended like on page 701 of the novel. So we ended right in the middle of chapter, like towards the end of chapter 82. And I've noticed that the audio drama does that for a lot of these episodes. They just end it with like a page or two left to go. And then the next episode will finish off that chapter and then start a new one. It's fine. But I did take lots of notes. So hopefully we'll see how long this goes through. But there's so much just, came out in these episodes. So first and foremost, I want to say this. There's been Daddy Jin Guangshan, Jin Guangshan, he's like my least favorite character in this whole series. He's my least favorite character. And up until this set of chapters, I could not see any redeeming qualities with him. I'm like, no. There's one moment, I will say, there is one moment in this entire series I feel any slight inkling of redemption possible for him. And that is his reaction to Zishuan's death at the very beginning of the audio drama. And I don't really think it's in the novel. It's not really in the novel, so it's probably not canon. But they do have, when they show up, I'm glad that the Untamed has the guy showing up talking to Yanli and Shang of all people about Zishuan dying. And it's the most traumatic thing. I'm like, dude, read the room. She has a baby and you're going to tell her husband died? Luckily in the novel and the audio drama, that's not what happens. In the audio drama, we have Daddy Jin getting told about Zishuan's death, and then we assume Yanli finds out from there. A much better scenario. But there is a moment in the audio drama where Daddy Jin realizes Zishuan dies, and he like wrecks furniture. Very parallel to when he wrecked the furniture when WuXian invaded the banquet hall, and kind of parallels that. But in that moment, and I hadn't read the novel chapters at that point, in that moment I was like, okay, well, Daddy Jin, that's a sympathetic moment where a parent has lost his son. A genuine sympathetic reaction. And then I go to read the novel and it's not there. So I'm like, oh, the audio drama just needed to convey in some way, shape, or form that news got back to the Golden Tower. And that's the way we did it. So I was like, meh. But in that moment I was like, oh, do I feel a shred of sympathy for Daddy Jin? In the audio drama I do, but in the novel it's not even shown to us, so whatever. But then, okay, the bells, there's that little inkling of the bells and the lullaby from Yanli to Ling, kind of signifying what could have been if the bell had gotten to WuXian. And we'll talk about the bell a little bit later, but God, Zahn. Well, not Zahn, because he's in the Untamed, but the voice actor for WuXian. The voice actor for WuXian in these episodes, especially episode 7 of season 3, holy crap. Like, it was just like, piercing my heart, like just his crying, his despair, his anguish, just piercing my heart. Like, it's hard to cry and act. It's hard to cry not for real. Like, if you're trying to act and cry, that's hard, right? It's not easy. And so for a voice actor to just portray all that anguish and emotion and for it to sound real, that was rough. And then this whole thing, and then the audio drama thankfully leaves out the part in the novel where Yan shows up, and in the Untamed it shows Yan showing up, and WuXian's so pissed off and so angry that he like just looks at Yan and Yan starts crying, and it's like, oh my gosh, and they're trying to console the baby while they're trying to console this toddler while WuXian is kicking Ning and being mad at him. But this whole idea of despair, and this is the one thing some of you were noting in the donghua and the Untamed, that for censorship reasons they can't portray WuXian being totally in the wrong. And so they try to find ways to pin it on other people. Like in the donghua, with Zishuan's death, there's the array. And then when you get to Nevernight, we assume it's Sushi or Yang or somebody has influence on the resentful energy. And in the Untamed, it's given like a mysterious second flute player that people are like, oh, that's pretty controversial because it's not in the novel. No, the one thing I like about this is that the novel says WuXian was in the wrong. Now, there's lots of circumstances that lead him to this point, and you can argue that WuXian really didn't have a lot of choices. But in the end of the day, what I love about the series is that they let their protagonist be wrong, and that part of this horrible stuff that happens is his fault. And it's tragic and it's heartbreaking, but he acknowledges it. And I think the only way it gets away with that, and that we, the audience, aren't left totally like in a pit of despair ourselves, is because WuXian gets to have a second chance. I think if the author, if MXTX had just let WuXian realize he was at fault here and then him just die at the end, it would be tragic and despairing, and you'd be like, well, God, what like he says, what's the point? But he gets a second chance. I think that's how the author gets away with it, is that WuXian does get a second chance to come back and mend things a second time, or at least figure out the errors of his ways and go forward from that. And I think that's what saves the story from being a complete depressing tragedy. But I appreciate the author being bold and saying, no, WuXian in Nevernight, in the Nightless City, he lost control. Just like Wanji warned him. He didn't take the warning seriously. He thought he could handle it all on his own. And one of the morals of the story is, no, you can't handle it all on your own. You need to have someone help you. It's okay to get help from someone else, especially people that care about you. And WuXian just tried to shoulder it all on his own. And we're going to talk about that because, especially with Qing's conversation with him. But yeah, in the novel, God, I love these novel chapters. 76 through 82, they're really good chapters, especially the whole thing with leading up to Yanli's death. It's so well done. I absolutely loved reading these. So yeah, WuXian in despair, he's like, all these years, he's like, have I gone mad? And he repeats that phrase over and over again. He's like, have I gone mad? Why did I do this? What was the point of me being here? It was all to save my family, and now they're dying. And you could argue WuXian's just so in despair, he doesn't realize that he did it to save the winds, but now he doesn't see a point, because he's like, well, now that they've killed Zixuan, now that I've had Ning kill Zixuan, they're going to come after the winds. He's like, so everything I did was for nothing, and it's my fault. And that point where Ning is trying to apologize and like kowtow below him and like apologize for everything, in the novel, WuXian's like, there's a corpse in front of me in pain. A corpse, he can't cry, but he's clearly in pain, apologizing. A corpse is apologizing to me, saying it's his fault. He's like, no, it's my fault. And WuXian reflects in the novel, he reflects on the fact that he had a grudge against Zixuan, and he couldn't let it go. And he's like, because I couldn't let that grudge with Zixuan go, Ning always associated him as an enemy, and that led him to kill him. And so he's like, no. WuXian's like, he realizes in that moment in the novel, he's like, I've had others always ask me what to do, but now that I need help, I don't have anybody I can rely on. It's so damn sad. And then he's like saying that Yanli suffered enough like all these years, and now she has to suffer more, and it's his fault. It's like WuXian just in despair. It hurts. It breaks my heart. And I love in this that WuXian, whenever he finally, it says in the novel, there's two moments that I loved in these chapters. And one was that WuXian, he says in the novel, he finally understands why Chang detested his hero complex. And that is when Qing does the acupuncture needle and says that her and Ning are going to go to the Nightless City and shoulder all the burden and save him. And in that moment, WuXian sees himself in Qing and realizes that what she's doing, she's taking on all this responsibility for their actions, and she's taking that responsibility from the people at blame, and is transferring it to herself and being like, no, we're going to shoulder this burden and everything will be all right. And in this moment, WuXian finally realizes what Cheng was saying. He's like, I know why Cheng hated me all this time, because I was shouldering the burden of other people's problems, and I was shouldering it thinking I could handle it, and it really was just making the situation worse. And here, Qing and Ning, it's not going to help the situation. So WuXian understands exactly why Chang detested him, and he's like, ah! And that roar in the novel he makes when he can't do anything, it's so good. God, it's so compelling and sad. And Qing saying that they've made up their mind, and WuXian talking about how he hates that Ning is so compliant. WuXian's like, I hate how compliant Ning is, that Ning's just nodding his head like a puppet, but he's a dead corpse at this point. And WuXian realizing, he's like, well, Ning's just the blade that I made. This is all because of me. Like, I should go take responsibility. And Qing is like, no, we're going to go do it. She's like, Ning killed 300 people on that bridge. And and WuXian's like, well, he's like, he's the blade, I'm the murderer. How is getting rid of the blade going to solve the problem? And he's slowly realizing exactly what Chang's whole argument was. It's so sad. And God, the moment there's like the soft crying, there's two moments, one in the audio drama and one in the novel. In the audio drama, like WuXian's soft crying as he's begging them not to leave and die. And that's when Ching says the thank you and sorry. Like, it hits just as hard as it is in the donghua. I said in the Untamed. In the Untamed, it doesn't hit as hard because it's reorganized in a different way. But in here, it hits hard. And so there's that moment. And then in the novel, WuXian is like telling her, he's like, no, don't go. He's like, no. And she's like, we're going to go. This is our goodbye. And in the novel, it says that he whispers to her. He's like, let me go, please. And that's when she says, thank you and I'm sorry. And in the novel, it's so minimalist. It's done such in a minimal way that it hits you that much harder. And it's like, God, it hurts. And so then, the next chapter, WuXian wakes up, and this part was so heartbreaking in the novel because he's like, where do I go? He's like, do I go to the Lotus Pier? He's like, I haven't been there in a year. Chang's probably there. He's like, do I go to the tower? He's like, what's the point of going to the tower? Because Ning and Ching are probably already dead. And he's like, where do I go? And the sad thing is in the novel, he says the world has no place for him. And that's heartbreaking that WuXian's like, I have nowhere to go. I have no home. No one wants me anywhere. But the sad thing is, he never mentions Gusu. He never mentions Wanji. And the whole time, Wanji's like, I've been wanting to take him away and hide him away in Gusu. And that's the one place that doesn't cross WuXian's mind. And it's so frustrating. I remember reading that and being like, you could go to Gusu, and he never brings it up because he doesn't even think that's on the table. He's like, that's not even an option because he thinks Wanji hates him. And I'm like, no! It's, God, I hate it. So he decides to go to the tower. Yep, he decides to go to the tower to get the body and the ashes of Ning and Ching. And so, just like in the Untamed, I will say, just like in the Untamed, the novel and the audio drama do a good job of humanizing Madame Jin and showing just how much she's suffering from losing her son. That was well handled. I really liked that. The Untamed, the actress that played Madame Jin, did such a phenomenal, like it broke me down to tears watching her portrayal of someone that's lost a child and is lamenting that and grieving them. And the novel, the fact the novel says that WuXian never wants to see someone have a face like that again. Oh, it's so good. But then he in the novel, he cracks his knuckles and she hears that and she's like, who's there? And that's when Ning gets exposed, or WuXian gets exposed. And in the audio drama, you hear Yanli call after him. She's like, Ashing, come here. And in the novel, because in the audio drama and the Untamed, I'm like, WuXian, why didn't you stop and talk to her? She was calling out to you. But in the novel, he can't hear her. In the novel, he doesn't even acknowledge her. In the novel, he gets so freaked out seeing Madame Jin and Yanli and getting discovered, and he doesn't want them to see him, that he just runs off. And in the novel, he doesn't even acknowledge them. Like, he doesn't even know that Yanli is calling out to him. And it's like, oh my gosh, no! And so you don't realize it. And so then he finds the guys. Now, in the Untamed, when he finds the guys, they've already killed the Wind Sect leaders, and they're not. So that's one thing I am curious about. In the Untamed, the Wind people were hanging from the building, and in this we get the whole bloody corpse thing. So I'm going to be curious how they handle the burial mound scene later on. I'm not there yet in the Untamed, so don't spoil me yet. I'm about to be there. We're very close to that scene. This will probably be the next couple episodes that I watch. So I'm going to be curious to know how they're going to handle the Wind saving them. That's going to be interesting how they handle that, because in the Untamed they're hung outside the building, and that's where WuXian comes across them and gets really furious. Here, it's their words that make WuXian furious, where they're talking about, they say that Ning went crazy in the tower. He went crazy. He killed 30 people. Some of them were Land Clan members, which explains why Chirin and them are upset that Wanji is siding with WuXian. That makes sense. That will help, I feel, explain the lashings later on that Wanji gets, because he was helping WuXian despite their clan leaders being killed by Ning. And then WuXian just hears all this stuff, and I love that it's described in the book that his eyes get colder and colder, but the raging fire within him gets brighter and brighter, and it's like, oh my gosh, like it just WuXian, and then he decides to let go. He just can't take it anymore. He snaps. WuXian just snaps from all the resentful energy, from everything. He just snaps. And that's when he decides to go to the conference. And so they scatter the ashes of Qing and supposedly Ning, but we know that Ning is not actually dead at this point. Well, he's dead, but he's not actually cremated. We know that as the audience, but that's what they say in the conference. And when I was reading this moment, I thought, oh, that's like such a parallel to when Zixun smashed the bell to dust, because you have the little bell that WuXian gave Ling was in the box, like the little peace offering, the little thing being like, hey, I know we've had our problems and everything, but here's for baby Ling. This is my peaceful gesture as his uncle. And Zixun smashed that, and that's what really pissed WuXian off. And here, Daddy Jin, Zixun's uncle, takes the box that has Qing's ashes in it and crushes it and scatters it about. And that sets WuXian off too. So it's a funny parallel there between those two scenes. And I will say this, I noted this in the episode, but Yao sounds different in this than he does in the Untamed, which they have different voice actors. I found out. I kind of prefer the Untamed voice actor for Yao more than this one. Maybe they're the same one, but they sound different. But in the Untamed, Yao's voice actor has like a more softer voice, which can be, it's softer and it's more, I think, appropriate for Yao because he's such an actor. And at times you're like, is he being real? Is he being fake? I can't tell because his voice is so soft. And here his voice is harder. And so I'm going to be curious to hear him later on when he has a breakdown, how that's going to work. But also in the novel, before we get to WuXian showing up at the Nightless City on the roof, WuXian, he gets mad at those guys at the entrance. He gets violent. He kicks a guy's teeth out and knocks him out because of the pain. And then he heads off, and then Wanji shows up. Now, in the Untamed, I theorized that Wanji showed up late because he was getting Yan out of the picture and taking Yan away. But in this, I don't know if that's the case. So it's going to be curious to see how this... I feel like the next episode we watch is going to explain Sijui and Yan's backstory and all this, so I'm excited. But I'm like, okay, I'll just wait until that's confirmed. But yeah, and I like that at the Nightless City during the conference, Chang hesitates. Like, Chang is such a great, complex character in all of this, and he's had, even up till now, Chang is still hesitating to draw the line and wage war against WuXian, because this whole conference is also to declare war against WuXian as the Yiling Patriarch. And Chang is hesitant. He's like, I don't know if I want to do that. And he ends up tossing the wine, but he hesitates. And I think that says a lot for his character. And then, WuXian showing up. They say that there are 8 beasts on the columns, and then there was a 9th beast, and the 9th beast was WuXian. And the way the novel describes it, with just his leg hanging off, his robes swaying in the breeze, and him just nonchalantly sitting on the roof laughing in a jarring fashion. It's like, it's every adaptation does that reveal so well. It's just so interesting. And so WuXian acknowledges they have 3,000 soldiers there, but he's like, I fought 5,000 at the Sunshot campaign, so is this really enough to face me? And then they have the whole conversation about WuXian and WuXian putting everything up. I wanted to bring up that during that whole conversation about WuXian and the idea of when is killing justified, and we've had this conversation throughout the entire novel and throughout the series, but there's an interesting parallel between Yang and WuXian. I wrote Yao on my paper, but it's Yang. Between Yang and WuXian, because Yang makes the argument. I want to make a distinction that the funny thing is, Yang makes the argument to Jingxin that he killed all those clan members who were innocent because his life was worth more than theirs. And it was more than just an eye for an eye. He's like, no, they all deserve to be wiped out. And they question why he did that to the innocents. He says because his life is worth more than theirs. At no point does WuXian say his life is worth more than anybody, because that's kind of the antithesis of WuXian. WuXian doesn't think his life is worth anything, which is sad. He doesn't think his life is worth anything. He's just trying to help people. But they call out, they're like, well, you tried to help these 50 wins, but all these other people died. So it's just pointing out the meaninglessness and just the pointlessness of all the violence that's happened so far. And nobody's in the right, nobody's in the wrong. There's bad things about what each of them have done. And I think the distinction, though, is that WuXian he's not killing people because he thinks he's better than anyone. He has this sense of justice towards the winds because they helped him, and just all these bad circumstances have happened around it, and it's just really tragic. And I will say that the kid firing the arrow at WuXian, it's kind of like, well, you fired an arrow at him, you shot first, and yeah, WuXian could have just taken the arrow out and just cast it aside and been like, nice try, but WuXian gets angry and he takes vengeance. And that act of vengeance, as justified as WuXian makes it, it's still the action that is the catalyst for the entire battle, and it just leads to everything happening. And you can make the argument that WuXian had no choice. If he didn't, they were going to kill him. It's such a shitty situation, and there's just no good answer there. And so WuXian does what he knows what to do. He does the only thing he knows how to do. But it has consequences, and the consequences are awful. And so, yeah, the arrow fired. It's noted in the novel that the arrow hits his ribcage, that the boy that was shooting the arrow was untrained and was not experienced, and he shot him in the ribcage instead of the heart. And when WuXian takes out the arrow, he flips it around and shoots the kid in the heart and instantly kills him. Right? And then it's also noted that as the battle starts, between all of this, when Wanji shows up to face WuXian, Wanji tries to at first use his instrument to stop WuXian, and WuXian's like, that song of lucidity won't work on me. And so I want to make a note, in the audio drama and in the other adaptations that are live action where you don't actually get to read it, Wanji goes to strike WuXian, and WuXian's like, oh, I should have known we'd always clash swords because you hate me. And Wanji's like, I don't hate you, right? And you just get so frustrated because Wanji's like, I don't hate you, I'm just trying to stop you from doing something stupid. In the novel, I love this because the novel establishes that Wanji was trying to strike Qingqing to break it. Wanji didn't want to kill WuXian. He wasn't trying to hurt WuXian. He was trying to get rid of the flute because the flute was going to control the corpses. He's like, I was trying to get rid of the flute so he couldn't do any more harm. He couldn't channel that resentful energy anymore. So Wanji was trying to help. And then it says, but WuXian was half mad, half unconscious from all the hatred. He had lost control, and he couldn't hear the shaking in Wanji's voice. So Wanji hates it here. Wanji is like, I'm having to fight the love of my life. I hate it. I've got my obligations as part of the Land Clan. I love WuXian. I have obligations towards him. What do I do? And WuXian he completely loses control. And it's like Wanji warned him. He's like, you're going to lose control. And that's exactly what happens. And I like that the novel doesn't stray from that. They don't try to justify it by anything other means. They're just like, no, WuXian lost control. And it was an awful thing that happened. And so then Yanli shows up because she's looking for him. And she just shows up in the middle of this battlefield, the worst place imaginable, because that's what you do, right? Why not? She just shows up and ends up getting slashed. And I love when she gets slashed by the sword, WuXian, it says in the novel that WuXian panicking, he wasn't thinking about stopping the corpses. He just panics seeing Yanli there, and he isn't able to control anything. And that's what causes the one corpse to slash at her. But there's a couple differences. So as soon as she's slashed, it shows Wanji grabbing him by the shirt. And in the audio drama, I thought it was Chang, but I think it was WuXian. I think it was Wanji there too. But Wanji grabs him by the shirt, and he's like, stop the corpses. Stop it. And WuXian's so distraught that he just doesn't listen. And so there was that one chance that WuXian could have stopped the corpses, but he was so distraught he didn't do it. And Wanji was going to go towards him, but then he hears somebody else calling out for help, and Wanji chooses to go help the other person in that moment. And I'm sure that Wanji regrets that. He's like, I should have been next to WuXian and helped stop the corpses with him. But again, it ties to why Wanji's so close to him now. But then WuXian, it's like, he's like, it's my fault. And the moment he's telling Chang, he's like, I can't control them anymore. It's so heartbreaking because Chang's like, you said you could. And he's like, I can't. And then, so here's the thing though, in the novel, in the audio drama and in the Untamed, in the donghua, Yanli is trying to talk to him, and then she sees the guy, and then as they're talking amidst all this chaos, she sees the guy coming towards WuXian to stab him, and she moves him aside so she gets stabbed instead, right? And it's been the same in all three of those versions. In the novel and in the manhwa, WuXian actually is told by her. She's trying to tell him what to do. And in his head, WuXian's like, is she trying to forgive me? Is she passing judgment? What's she going to say to me? Like, nothing she says is going to help. And in the novel, she says, I need you to stop these corpses first. You need to stop them first before I speak any more. And WuXian takes up his flute and stops the corpses. And stops them. It actually works. And that's when Wanji turns around. He's like, okay, the corpses stopped. What's going on? And when the corpses stopped, that gave an opening for the guy to come in to stab WuXian, and Yanli pushes him aside. And in the novel, Yanli gets stabbed in the throat. In the throat, she gets stabbed. It's like, what the hell? Oh my God, it's so traumatic. And yeah, and then WuXian just loses it. He just loses it. There's like, everybody's calling him a harbinger of death, an unforgivable sinner, and WuXian believes it, and so he just leans into it and is like, he just puts the tiger amulet together and all hell breaks loose. And it's just awful. He said he was waiting for her to pass judgment, and she doesn't do it. So here's the thing. The audio drama adds this little extra part at the end, right, of episode 7. It's not in the novel. It's not in the manhwa, so I figure like they just tacked that on. It's something that's going to come up later on. They just wanted to preview and foreshadow it here. But in the audio drama, Wanji takes WuXian away and takes him to that cave. And in the donghua, during the Yi City arc, there's a scene where WuXian like tells him to get lost. And in the audio drama, that happens. So I'm wondering if it's going to happen later in the novel. It's a really sad scene. I was like, oh God, Wanji is like trying to help him, and WuXian just says, get lost. I don't want you anymore. And Wanji was trying to confess to him, saying after all these years it was all true. I hate it here. It's really sad, right? But they established the audio drama, and I didn't go back and re-listen to it, but because I wanted to see if it was in the novel. In the novel, they don't specify. In the audio drama, they say that WuXian died, and he went back to the burial mounds, and all the corpses and ghosts devoured him. And I can see that happening. We don't get confirmation yet of it in the novel. I feel like it's coming. We don't get confirmation of it. But in the audio drama, they say that the corpses and the ghosts devoured him, leaving nothing left. And I could see him doing that because he was so distraught by the end. I could see him being like, no, just kill me and get it over with. But instead, in the audio drama and in the novel, we cut to the present in episode 8. In chapters, I think it's 79. We cut back to the present. And we're back in the present time at the burial mounds. And I like this idea that there's about 1,000 people there. There's about 1,000 people there at the burial mounds. But WuXian, it's noted in the novel that only about 20 of them are seeking vengeance. Only about a dozen or two of them. It says there are some people there from that night, but most of them are either descendants or they're people that just joined the mob mentality because it seemed like a great cause to go kill the Yiling patriarch. There's only about a dozen or so people there that are actually there for a reason. It's like, And so they blame WuXian for 3,000 people dying, and WuXian's like, well, clearly not all 3,000 died because y'all are here. If everybody had died, then that wouldn't be the case. And Wanji draws the line in the sand, saying that if you come past that line, I'm going to fight you. It's like, Wanji, my dude. And then we have Sushi. Well, first we have Yi Wei-chan. And this Yi guy, throughout the entire rest of these chapters, he's very much someone that is like, I'll never forgive you, WuXian. No matter what you do, I'm not going to forgive you. And we kind of cut off the episode and the chapter with him saying no matter what just happened, even after everything that happens in the burial mounds where he saves everyone, the Yi guy is still like, I'm never going to forgive you. And I think from the donghua, I remember WuXian being like, well, that's fine. You don't have to forgive me. I think that's where we're going to start the next episode at. But then Sushi, just getting called out. Sushi, it's great. I love the idea that in the novel, WuXian's like, who are you? He says, who are you on purpose to get Sushi's like, to get him to get flared up. I love it. But yeah, we have the whole thing with Sushi. Chang in these chapters is protecting baby Ling throughout all of them. WuXian, and it makes sense that WuXian is able to fight more in these scenes because he has his golden core back in Mo Jianyu's body. He does have a golden core. It's not really strong, but he does have it. And so we bring up the idea of the Song of Vanquish. That's brought up. Hui Sang's back. He's in the cave. And I love throughout this entire set of chapters, Hui Sang is slowly revealing himself more and more. And around this point in the donghua, I was starting to be like, Hui Sang, you are trying to help WuXian's point get proven very, very much so. And you are very much trying to convince everybody that WuXian's in the right. Interesting. And so in the donghua, Huiseng gets taken away by Sushi. But in this, Huiseng's still with them. Sushi just vanishes, right? He just teleports away. And we'll talk about that in a minute. So again, from here on in, I feel like from here on in the novel and in the Untamed, I'm in no man's land because things y'all have noted changed drastically from the donghua to these adaptations. So I'm excited because I'm going into uncharted territory. And I'm really excited about that. But yeah, so Huiseng convinces them to go into the cave against Sushi's will. He convinced everybody to do the smart thing and go into the cave so they're not killed. They go into the slumbering demon cave. I love Zizen in this. There's such great father-son moments between Zizen and his dad in these chapters where Zizen is like WuXian's biggest supporter and he like tries to rationalize everything with his father who's clearly against WuXian. And then he like helps his father out. His father's like, don't get killed, son. They go back in to fight the corpses alongside one another. I love that poor baby Ling is like, I really wish Chang would act like Zizen's dad. And Chang's like, no. It's great. But yeah, old Zizen. What a great little disciple. So cute. I loved him in these chapters. Him and his dad's camaraderie and relationship progression and their views on WuXian developing. It was great. But yeah, Chirin keeping the corpses at bay with the array that he makes. I like in the novel he establishes he's still disappointed in Wanji. He's disappointed with him, saying that in the novel he's like, I raised you a certain way and you going with WuXian is going against everything I tried to teach to you. But Wanji's like, Uncle, I love him, so sorry, can't do it. And then I made a note on here, there were physicians. The novel calls them medics, but the translation of the audio drama calls them physicians. I just find it hilarious that there's just doctors that came with the crew. I guess in case if any of them were hurt, they needed doctors to help, heal their wounds before they got back to their clans. So I guess it makes sense there's a physician there. I just love that the novel casually just mentions like, yeah, there's medics here. We brought them along. Would you think this is just an army and we're going to bring medics? The physician's line was pretty funny in the audio drama. But then, yeah, they piece everything together. Sushi and Yao working together to steal the Songs of Turmoil, to get all of that stolen. I like the fact that we find out that Sushi's sword, Nangping, is basically a meme that means peace was never an option. It fits him so well. It's such a telling thing. Oh my God, I love it. And then Sushi being the one that took Yang away, we get that confirmed from Yi City, that Sushi was the one that teleported him away. And then I love Jingyi, he's such a gossip. Jingyi's over here sitting there being like, well, actually with the Su guy and making his own clan, here's the tea about that. And Sijui's like, shut up, Jingyi. I love that Jingyi just doesn't care. He's like, I'll spill the tea about all this. And then WuXian asking Chirin the question, and Chirin won't answer, so he asks Wanji. We have that. The battle song being changed by Sushi. And we get all of that. We get all of it leading up to Sushi deciding to go and destroy the array and send them all to the corpses. And then he teleports out of there. It's like... But he doesn't take Huiseng with him, so that's interesting. The Huiseng seemingly escapes with the rest of the crew. But yeah, Wanji cutting his finger and trying to mend the array with his finger, and then WuXian, like, in the audio drama, WuXian cuts his sleeve to mend it with the sleeve, and it's like, we're getting a little subtle symbolism there with the cut sleeve. But in the novel, he just takes his sleeve and dabs the blood. And he's like, don't do that. He's like, Wanji, it's not going to work. And then Zizen protecting his father, Chirin fighting, and everybody's like, we didn't know that Chirin could fight like this. And it's like, well, he did raise Jishin and Wanji to fight, so he's always been able to. He's just deliberately chosen not to. And then there's a little scene in the audio drama in there where Jingyi is like back to back with Ling. Again, I kind of ship Ling and Jingyi. They're such a chaotic duo that I either ship them or they're just like chaotic BFFs. But it's so cute that he protects them. It's really, really cute. And then in the novel, I love the part where Chang is like, get away. Like Ning, even though Ning is there protecting them, Chang still has not forgiven Ning for everything he's caused. And he's blaming Ning more than WuXian or anybody else. So that's interesting that Chang is pushing the blame off on Ning. It's interesting. And then, so yeah, the moment in the novel that I loved is when they're describing when the first wave of corpses is over. WuXian and Wanji, it says they look a mess, and Wanji's pristine white robes are just smeared in black and red blood, and he just looks awful. The only thing clean on him was his forehead ribbon, which again is like a symbolism of him and WuXian's relationship with one another. So it's cool that that's untarnished. Like, that's the one thing that's not blemished. Despite all the blood and guts on him, his relationship with WuXian is still unfazed. I'm like, I like that a lot. But yeah, so then the second wave of corpses come, and then we have the whole corpses coming out of the blood pool. I'm glad, I mentioned this in the reaction, I'm glad in the Untamed they didn't, and well, we don't know the Untamed yet, but I'm glad in the donghua that they didn't show the corpses like they look in the Manhua and stuff, because they look freaky. They're just corpses covered in blood from the pool. It's so freaky and disturbing. And the way that MXTX describes it, it's straight up out of a horror movie, right? Because there's a point in here where, of course, Granny goes up to Sijui. Of course. And there's a little moment, if you didn't know, this novel's been planting little seeds over the course of its entirety to show that Sijui is Yan. And the last couple chapters have built on that more and more. And we see where Ning tries to shove all the disciples out from the cave. Sijui's like, let me stay. And Ning kind of hesitates, like, wait, something feels off about you. Because he knows him. And then when the grandmother like reaches out to Sijui, knowing it's Yan, and Sijui doesn't turn away afraid, he like reaches out towards her. There's a line, because all the other disciples are terrified. I'm like, why are you terrified of the little old granny? She's just covered in blood. But then the novel describes that her hand reaching out to Yan is like a half-nibbled chicken feet. That's like so disturbing, like this little chicken feet. And then Sijui like reaches out unafraid because he knows who it is. Just like, and then during that whole battle with the corpses, Ning running around saying, is it you? Is it you? Like he realizes who they are. That makes Qing's death all the more tragic in this because he finally at least gets to see his family again, even though they're corpses, but he doesn't get to see Qing again. Sad. But no, they saved them all. And then they slowly turn to ashes. And I love in the audio drama describing Ning's anguish. He's a corpse. He can't cry, but he's still in pain and like reaching out, calling out to them. And then in the audio drama and the novel, like WuXian trembling and about to cry too, because he realizes that they're his family. His second family came back to save him. And then Zizen's dad points out that when they killed the remaining 50 members of the Wind clan, they just threw them into the blood pool. So at some point, Wanji came and rescued Yan. We haven't got that confirmed in the novel yet, but I'm assuming that we're going to in the next episode. I'm assuming we're going to get in the next couple chapters that confirmed. I'm freaking excited because so I can't wait for that. But that's what I think is going to happen. So yeah. And then Ning trying to gather the ashes up. Like, just trying to, like, grab them all in his clothes. And, oh, my God, the moment that all the disciples were like, here, take our pouches. Put them all in your pouches. They, like, take the herbs out of their pouches and, like, here, use this to get the ashes of your family. Come on. That was so tragic. I was like, oh, my God. And the manhwa makes Ning look like such a cinnamon roll in this part. The manhwa has been really good as of late. And in these chapters, it's really good. Like, the expressions on everybody's faces, so good. So good. But then, yeah, the Fang guy and the Yi guy, they still ask, are we supposed to forgive you, WuXian? Is this your atonement, just saving us from these corpses? And then the chapter ends, which we know that WuXian's going to be like, no, I don't think this is atonement. I don't expect you to forgive me. I'm just doing what I had to do. It's very sad. But then, yeah, so we had the two extras. We had the sleeping together extra, which I feel the sleeping together extra felt out of place. I feel like it should have been earlier on in the series and they just tacked it on here but maybe it's showing that I feel like these two extras are leading up to one, the planting radishes. We'll talk about it first. The planting radishes is setting up for the next audio drama episode where we find out Sijui's backstory. It's setting up for that. The idea of WuXian planting Yan in the ground and being like, you'll grow like a radish, and Ning taking notice too. So that's why Ning recognizes him because they were so close. But the moment that WuXian is describing, because Ning's like, you should have your own child. And I love this conversation because I'm like, oh, Ning, you're bringing this up. And WuXian's like, well, he's like, I don't want to have a child of my own because that kid will probably be like me. And I don't want them to be a chaotic little gremlin like me. They'll get into trouble all the time. He's like, I don't want, and it's kind of sad because it's very self-loathing. WuXian doesn't want a child to be like him, so he doesn't want to bring that into the world. But he says, if I did have a child, I'd want it to be like calm and reserved and controlled and blah, blah. And he's basically describing Wanji. Like every quality Wanji has is what he wants his child to have. And lo and behold, Yan ends up getting raised by Wanji as Sishui and becomes the exact child that WuXian wanted. You know, because. So I felt like that extra was put on here to tease the Sishui backstory that we're going to get, that WuXian is going to get the child he always wanted, only he's going to be like a fully fledged teenager now in the next audio drama episode. But then the sleeping together one, I'm predicting we're going to get some spice soon. And I'm only saying that because I'm like, why would they put the sleeping together extra here of all places? Why? But the whole point of the sleeping together extra is that WuXian won't leave Wanji alone. He's teasing him nonstop. And in WuXian's mind, it's not teasing. In WuXian's mind, well, maybe it is. But in WuXian's mind, he's just trying to goad Wanji into his breaking point and being like, well, now you'll leave me. And in Wanji's mind, WuXian is just tempting him more and more. And Wanji's like, is this really what you want? And so it's all going to come to a head. And I'm like, oh, buddy. So, yeah. God. These chapters were so good, though. They were really, really good. And there's a moment, I'm looking back to see if I've missed anything from my notes. There is a moment in the cave when they're fighting the corpses that there's a moment where, okay, there's two things I didn't note yet. There's one is when Wanji decides to stay back with WuXian. And I love the idea of WuXian shedding the black robe and putting the blood on the white robe like that. In the donghua, everybody was freaking out because WuXian takes the blood and he makes their whole robes look red and it looks like a Chinese wedding. And it's like, oh, okay, this is how they're getting past the censors, right? Because it's not too different from the novel. In the novel, he just writes all the runes on his robes to make him a spirit flag, to like an array, a spirit lure to lure the corpses to him. So it's not too different from the novel. It's still the same concept. It's just the blood just soaks the whole robes instead of part of it. And he just looks like a Chinese wedding, right? But the same concept is there. But I love the idea that he sheds the darkness from him. He does basically, instead of calling on more corpses to fight corpses, he's like, no, I'll just lure them to me and Wanji's with me now. He'll help fight them off. Right? And so there's this symbolism of sacrifice that WuXian's like, I'll just lure them to me. And Wanji has offered to help get them away. But WuXian, in sacrificing himself as the lure, it gets the others outside the cave to feel bad that he's fighting them all on his own with just Wanji. And they all go back to help him. And I'm like, that's such a cool reversal and like coming around to being like, before WuXian just thought he could fight it all himself and use the resentful energy in a negative way. And here he's using it in a different way and it's having a different effect. So it's very interesting. But I love the idea of him shedding the black, like symbolically shedding the darkness off of him and having this new light on him that he uses. It's very interesting. I know that colors in Chinese culture is a little bit different than Western culture, but it was a really striking image. And then when Wanji says he's going to stay back and help WuXian, and all the Land Clan members are like, what, no, don't do it, Wanji. And then he looks, and just like in the donghua, Chirin makes the bow to him, and he's like, it's as it's meant to be. And it's like, they're meant to be together. It's like Chirin accepting at that point that Wanji's not going to leave WuXian's side. It's like, okay, it's the salute is just signifying that and confirming that moment. But then the other part I was going to talk about is that WuXian, just like, it's a cool bookend to at the beginning of these chapters when WuXian goes back to the slumbering demon cave. When Yan comes in, he's crying. WuXian kind of ignores him and he's so focused on his own issues at that moment. And then in this, it's the reverse. Sishui's still in the cave and WuXian pushes him back and he's like, get out. Like he is paying attention to Sishui in that moment. And it's such like a cool reversal from the start and the end of these chapters. And then, yeah, Chang and Ling are outside the cave, and when the fighting goes on, Ling is like, I'm going to go back in, and Chang's like, I won't be your uncle anymore if you go back in. And Ling's like, well, then am I just supposed to sit out here? And he's like, yes. And Chang goes back in to fight for WuXian. So I think that's another thing that ties Chang to WuXian, is that no matter, despite everything Chang has said, we've established that Chang is all bark and no bite. Chang says that he hates WuXian. He says he'll kill him. He says he'll wreck Ling when he acts up. But in reality, Chang cares so much that he's like, nah. And he just wants Ling to stay there while he goes and fights for him. I love it. I love it! So yeah, I think that's about all I had in my notes that I hadn't addressed. But God, these chapters, they're so good. I'm sad that Yanli died. That was horrific. I'm glad that I don't have to experience that ever again. I think, honestly, if I rewatch this series or reread the book, because this stuff that I'm reading in the online version of the book I have now is not the official one that's come out by Seven Seas. I've pre-ordered it. It's just not here yet. But I think when I go back and read, I will probably skip chapters 76 through 78. I'll probably skip those chapters because they're really hard. They're very hard chapters, and I don't know if I can deal with them. So I'll probably skip those. But these chapters with the burial mound, there's a lot of exposition explaining the plan, explaining how things are set up. I've already watched the donghua, so I felt like as he was explaining the whole thing with sushi, I was like, okay, it makes more sense listening to it the second time around. I think during the donghua, I was like, what? But now it makes sense when you hear it the second time around. You're like, okay, the plans all make sense. And them uncovering sushi. And sushi pieces out, so I'm curious. Next chapter, I'm trying to think of what we have next. I'm hoping we get sushi reveal. That would be amazing. I'm really ready for that. The whole thing with Yao and finding out about him and Chinsu's relationship, I'm hoping that comes out. Because Cece is the woman that comes up with the info about that, the dirt on that. And I'm wondering if we'll get her spilling the tea in the next set of chapters either. But next week, I'm going to look at episode 9 of the audio drama. And then it'll be chapters 82 through 86. And it's going to be the extra keeping rabbits. So I'm pretty excited. But yeah, I'm curious to know your thoughts down below. This was a long reaction, but there was a lot of stuff to get through. But it was worth it. So in the meantime, I hope you all have a wonderful week. Please stay safe, take care. And yeah, I'll be back next week with chapters 82 through 86 of Mo Dao Zushi. Bye.